Alrighty guys, we're back for some Anvil God, and this is a Lost Caverns of Ixalan standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I build all kinds of different decks, but I do prefer aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well. Also, we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Okay, what do we got packed into the build here? First of all, this was a suggestion down in the comments, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's going to be a fun one. It was essentially to put a deck together with Ojer Axonil and Oni-Cult Anvil. So what do these do? Ojer Axonil, Deepest Might, is a 4-mana, 4/4 with Trample. It's a legendary creature god. If a red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Ojer Axonil's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to Ojer Axonil's power instead. So if you're doing 1 damage to the opponent's face, that's 4 damage instead while Ojer's on the board, right? Which is pretty cool. So when Ojer dies, you return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed. Under its owner's control, it comes out as Temple of Power, which is a land that taps for a red source, and then it has this ability that, honestly, I don't know how often we're going to get to activate, but I should go over it anyways, right? So for 2 and a red, you can tap this, transform Temple of Power back into Ojer Axonil, right? Activate only if red sources you controlled dealt 4 or more non-combat damage this turn and only as a sorcery. So like I said, I don't know how often we're just going to be transforming this back. At that point, you're probably just going to be using this as a land and being happy about it. Maybe playing the second Ojer Axonil from your hand or something. So we have a whole bunch in here that's going to work well with Ojer, but Oni-Cult Anvil is a 2-mana artifact. Rock and Rakdos colors up there, of course. Whenever 1 or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, you create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. You can tap this, sacrifice an artifact. Oni-Cult Anvil deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. So that ability dealing that 1 damage to each opponent will of course be 4 damage with Ojer Axonil on the board, which is very, very cool. So we have a whole bunch in here. It's going to work well with Oni-Cult Anvil as well. So things that give us blood tokens like Bloodtithe Harvester, we've seen all this before, right? All 4 of them going to be excellent, also acting as spot removal in here too, right? Got Voldaren Epicure also producing blood tokens, but also just working really well with the Ojer because when it ETBs, it does 1 damage to each opponent. Nice. Same concept with Kumano faces Kakkazan. Of course, that first chapter on this saga dealing 1 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker. Now, of course, Ojer does not increase the damage to the planeswalker. It's only to the opponent, but still. Just anything that pings 1 damage to the opponent's face sounds really powerful while Ojer Axonil is on that board. And we actually have more in here that pings 1 damage to the opponent's face, like Chandra here with that top +1. Overall, just going to be an excellent card for this deck because it also acts as a little bit of ramp. So you never know in a deck like this how often you actually want to do multiple things on the same turn, right? Two to three things on the same turn in a deck like this is not unheard of. And so that little bit of extra ramp can go a long way, but also just making sure you get Ojer out on turn 4, even if you're missing your 4th mana, also sounds really good, right? Same concept with Flick a Coin here. It's a 3-mana instant speed, deals 1 damage to any target. You create a treasure token, so a little bit of ramp there, and it replaces itself. You get to draw a card. I played with Flick a Coin a few times in the past, and every time I actually really enjoyed it. Just the fact that it does 3 different things, and guess what? That 1 damage, while the Ojer Axonil's on the board, if you target the opponent, that could be 4 damage to their face, and it replaces itself, and it gives you that treasure token, so that could be wild, huh? Because you could like draw into like a Kumano, use that treasure right away or something, so... yeah, I think all 3 of them, well, not all 3, but you guys know what I mean. I think 3 of them are going to be excellent in here. Okay, kind of all over the place. What else did we not go over here? Let's go to the beginning. We got 2 Experimental Synthesizers, just an excellent little artifact that when we sacrifice it, we get to see more off the top, and when it ETBs, you get to see more off the top too, so it's not really something you want to do turn 1. But yeah, letting you see more off the top is going to be excellent. Also has that ability at the bottom where you can sacrifice it for 3 mana. You create a little 2/2. That actually happens a lot more than you would think. We have a couple Voltage Surge in here. So 1 mana instant speed. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice an artifact. Voltage Surge deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If this spell's additional cost was paid, it deals 4 damage instead. So I was actually on the fence between Voltage Surge and Torch the Tower with that bargain ability. doing a similar thing as Voltage Surge. I couldn't decide if 3 damage in a scry with an exile was going to be better than 4, but this time around I decided that we're just going to have to hit things for 4 a little bit more often. But, you know, honorable mentions for a reason with this Torch the Tower, honestly. So we have more spot removal with a couple Go for the Throats. This could totally be your removal of choice. Maybe you find this completely unnecessary. You could probably go up like a couple more Voltage Surge, or maybe that, maybe the bargain card that we just talked about too. Yeah, your removal of choice, totally fine. Also have Fanatical Offering here. This is a 2 mana instant speed. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. You draw 2 cards and create a map token. So keep in our hand nice and stocked, and we should have a whole bunch of stuff to sacrifice to this, hopefully. So yeah, I think all 4 of these is going to be pretty nice. Also rocking a couple Charming Scoundrels, more ways to ramp in the build, but then also the Wicked roll could go a long way. It's worth noting that the Wicked roll, when the opponent loses that 1 life, it's also not red, so it's not going to be doing anything with the Ojer Axonil. I just think Wicked rolls are actually pretty good overall. Like, that 1 damage really does go a long way. Also have Filtering on the Charming Scoundrel too, so that's pretty excellent. And over the Charming Scoundrel, I actually thought about Riveteer's Requisitioner, because, you know, when it dies, you get that treasure token, and so it's not like a terrible card to sacrifice to something like Fanatical Offering, but I think Charming Scoundrel is going to be a little bit better in this one at least. Okay, guys, what else do we have in the honorable mentions? I thought about Greedy Freebooter for this build. I thought about Goldhound. Thought about Kasig Flamebreather as well. That could be a pretty cool one with the Ojer. Then also, same concept with Sunshot Militia. This one's really cool, guys. It's a 2 mana 1/3 tap 2 untapped artifacts and or creatures you control. Sunshot Militia deals 1 damage to each opponent, activate only as a sorcery. So you could totally do that multiple times on the same turn, and then if you have that Ojer down, then it's just wild, huh? So yeah, honorable mentions for a reason. Oh, guys, the mana base, rocking all of the rare dual lands, because I think the mana base is going to be pretty greedy overall, but also we got the new Restless Vents here as well. So ETB's taps for Rakdos colors. For 1 in Rakdos colors until end of turn, Restless Vents becomes a 2/3 black and red insect creature with menace, and then whenever it attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Nice. I think like all the Restless lands look really good, so I think the 1 of is going to be excellent in here. Hopefully not holding up our early turns too much by entering tapped, of course. Crucible, yep, we got the Abandoned Mire, heavily leaning towards red because that is what the deck is leaning towards. Okay, guys, hopefully I went over the deck well enough. Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game here. There was just an update, so there we go. We found that opponent. Let's go. What have I expected from the build, guys? I think it's going to be pretty good, but I like these Rakdos Anvil builds are pretty tough for me to pilot. I got to be real with you, so hopefully I can pilot it well enough. Ooh, 4 mana. Yeah. We try this because we got crazy draw power off the offering and everything, and mana for days, so yeah, not bad. Before we play a land, we should play Synthesizer. Well, it depends on what we draw, of course, but because we could see a land off the Synthesizer's ability. Epicure, okay. Well, Epicure might be a little better. No, I'm gonna stick to the plan. See what we see on Synthesizer. Hopefully not an Ojer. My anvil, no. Oh well, it was probably still worth seeing the one on the top right. Yeah, we should be fine. I mean, we still got 3 anvils in the build, so. Goodbye, anvil. Yeah, that actually had a great chance of hitting a 2-drop, so that's something to consider. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Synthesizer. Like like we have a lot of 2-drops in here, and a chunk of 3s, and then the 3 4s. So maybe if it was just Epicure for the turn, keep 1 open. That would be much better if we also had like a Voltage Surge in hand or something. We should probably, unfortunately, block, right? Yeah, Yeah, if it's like a Monstrous Rage, at least we're taking like 2 less damage here. It is going to be a Monstrous Rage, so it's 2 less damage, but like, still a ton. Okay, Kumano flips. Bloodtithe Harvester, that's good. And Offering could help us draw as well. That is instant speed too. Gonna have to keep this as a blocker, unfortunately. Okay, Haunted Ridge. It's Harvester, right? I think it's Harvester. We also have the Synthesizer ability, but then when it's sacrificed, we'll exile another card off the top and probably get punished for that, so we probably shouldn't. Yeah, it's Harvester. We do have a blood token open, but I think we're going to want to keep those, and yeah, we're going to have to keep that back as a blocker, I think. Yeah, we are definitely on the defense here. Some of our removal would go a long way, so maybe it's Offering next turn. So for Feldon, okay, they still have the mountain open, which is super unfortunate. For Feldon, letting them see 2 off the top. Like using the Harvester's ability. This is tough, guys. This is a tough decision. I don't want them to see 2 off the top, but I also want the trade to go through. Like if we block Swift Spear again, it could be the same combat trick. But I'd love to use the Harvester on the Feldon here. I'm sorry, opponent. This is a tricky decision because of like, it depends what removal we end up seeing off the Offering too, if we even see any. That's a tough decision, man. I'm going to block the Feldon and see what happens, because it could still just be a Monstrous Rage on Feldon too, so that then they'll still just see 2 off the top and pick their favorite, which could be like a Lightning Strike or something like that, right? So see now, since it's not a Monstrous Rage, we are taking care of the Feldon at least, whereas if we blocked the Swift Spears, there would have been no trade happening. So taking 5. At this point in the game, I say we can safely trade out the Sulfurous Springs. Oh man, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not, we might need that. We might need that land. Okay. Okay, my turn. Oh! Phoenix Chick flying in the air. Ojer is the play for the turn, right? The Deepest Might comes down, and it could be pretty difficult for Mono Red to clean that up. 4th mana. Oh no. Oh no, they're looking at it. If they do have one of like the 3 mana cards that cleans up, like does 5 damage, you know, they could still play Phoenix Chick and do that too. And then we're in some serious trouble. Because that'll be another 6 damage going through, and then the Axonil would die as well. So a full swing, it could be a Lightning Strike in hand. And a Lightning Strike in hand would be death if we don't block. A Lightning Strike in hand is death for Ojer Axonil if we do block. So I think we go for the block on the small Swift Spear in case the last 2 cards. Yeah, tough decisions, man. Let's see. Let's see if those last 2 cards are anything. So Lightning Strike. So yep, so we would have died if we didn't block there. Okay, flips as a land. Go for the throat. Okay. We could be in this, guys. We could be. We probably start with Fanatical Offering. I gotta say, losing that Oni-Cult Anvil early was pretty brutal, because that could have been gaining us life. We would have had to find a good time to actually do it, but... could do all of this at instant speed, but that doesn't seem worthwhile. What I'm gonna do... let's go Synthesizer. Let's see what we see. Because we could find a 1 mana card and keep the, oh, Oni-Cult. Okay. Okay, is it Oni-Cult over removal, though? Is the question. Have 1 mana available. So if we do this on our turn. Go like this. blood token, get a 1/1. And I guess we play one of the cliffs here too, right? Unless I want to keep them all to discard. Now we'll still do this, and I guess I'm gonna use the map token to get around the trample a little bit here. So we're hoping for a counter, right? To okay, Epicure is not bad, is it? I guess we keep Epicure because it produces another blocker and another artifact. That's an artifact we can use to trade out cards in our hand, or the Oni-Cult, which gives us more artifacts. Okay, Feldon, we got a great block to, if they see a lightning strike off the Feldon, then I guess that's that. But if we block Swift Spear, we're still taking like too much damage here, so let's see it. Let's see it. This is a tough uphill battle, but Oni-Cult Anvil early on would have been huge, so definitely something to consider. Play with fire. They still have 2 mana. We're not dead. Holy cow, bro. Okay. So go for the throw. It's going to have to take care of Swift Spear this time. Well, are we going to get enough blockers down to... Probably not. Because, well... Lots of tough decisions, man. Because I'm tempted to trade out the blood token, use the anvil on their turn after the block, but the trample's rough. Okay, blood token. I want to see what we see. Ditch the land. Get a 1/1. Yeah, we have to consider our life total at 4, I would say. You know what? I probably should have played the other Epicure first. Well, that... If they had a lightning strike, they would have played it on their turn, right? So, I'm sure we're fine. Land, ew, okay. So, Epicure. Do I trade out the land? I should probably save as many artifacts as possible here, I would say. We already got our 1/1 for the turn. I am scared of the Phoenix check, but the trample on the Swift Spear is a little bit worse, I would say, right now, since we are struggling to get what we need on the board to block it. Save the mountain in case I want to trade it out, which I very well might want to. And I think we do everything else on their turn. Okay. See if that play with fire hits our face first. Because they may want to... Oh, they're going to save it for their turn, since they had 4 mana already. Charming Scoundrel. The Wicked Roll is going to be nasty here. If it goes on Phoenix Check, we got to take it out. Like, we go for the Throat Phoenix Check if that's the case. Okay, onto itself. Before the roll comes down, we should take care... I don't know. See, we can chump this, though. Okay, alright, resolve. It's a lot of tough decisions here. Mountain, and they got the play with fire here. Okay. Okay, so it's Swift Spear, right? Could double block Scoundrel if we wanted to, but we're just going to block here, I think. So let's take care of the Swift Spear. Let's do that, because that Swift Spear is a problem, especially since it's going to be gaining even more off the play with fire. We're going to be taking 1 in the air, then we go block here, right? We go block, and then we go Oni-Cult. Sacrifice. And that's something we couldn't do with the trampling Swift Spear. So we're going back up to 4, taking 1 from the Phoenix check. We're in this, guys. But we don't want to use this blood token until our turn to make sure we get an artifact creature. Okay. Down to 1. They get a scry. Let's see if they keep it on top. If it goes to the bottom, that's good news for us, because that means if it's just a land or so. Well, I guess it's not good news, because scrying could really help. Yeah, 1 to the bottom. Okay, our turn. Oh, Fanatical Offering. Dude, holy cow. What do I want? What do I want to do with that? I guess we do that on our turn. Is it Epicure or Blood? I guess it's Blood Token. But the Blood Token could help us filter. Do we filter? Get a 1-1? No. It's... I'm overthinking it. Blood Token, get out of here. Let's get that 1-1. Ooh, flick a coin. That does hit the Phoenix check. But all this land is pretty bad, huh? We still have this here. So, flick a coin. Let's play one of these. Flick a coin the Phoenix check now. That way we draw now to see, we might see more off the top. Wow. Go for the throat. The wicked roll we got to be careful about though. Go for the throat is open, as well as the map token if we wanted to do that now and use the treasure. But I don't think so. I think we want to keep that. Keep all blockers, right? Just in case, you never know. No attacks. Okay. We're holding on for dear life, dude. Oh, man. Is it going to be the swing? Okay, so what we'll do, we don't know what's in their hand. We're going to do the same block strategy, and then Oni-Cult. The same block strategy. Okay. Is it going to be nothing from the opponent? I'm going to save the go for the throat back, guys. That way we don't take damage from the wicked roll for now. Because we're doing fine. Second Oni-Cult Anvil. Dude, that is so good. Holy cow, is that so good. Okay. Oni-Cult comes down. Is there going to be a chance to flip this? Dealt 4 or more non-combat damage. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Let's go ahead and explore with the map token. Get 2 1/1s. And we'll have that available. Epicure. Okay. Okay, I'll keep Epicure. Because maybe we will use that blood token to trade then. I am going to keep this mountain to trade out when it comes time too. That trade's there. Okay. Alright. We're fine. We're alive, dude. Actually, we're so alive, I'm going to swing. That might be super dangerous, but like at any point the opponent can find burn off the top, which means we'll have to survive. Well, now that we have 2 Oni-Cults, we do survive a lightning strike. They might need to double down on burn. Tough decisions, man. Woohoo! Okay, well, that's really good for the opponent. Can we hit this? And they'll still get to cast, right? They'll still get to cast? I believe so. Sometimes the ordering of those things confuse me a little bit. Yeah, they'll still get to pay 3. Cast lightning. Strike, target our face, and then we're going to be forced to Oni-Cult twice before combat. So we're about to fizzle out of artifacts here. The lightning strike. So would it have been better to wait for the go for the throat? No, not really. It kind of did. It kind of does the exact same thing here. We also can sacrifice Oni-Cult to Oni-Cult as well. We're still gonna have a blocker. It's fine. It's fine. Down to 1. And then we chump the Scoundrel. Yeah, we gotta be careful. If they see another adversary off the top, see? Like, that was really dangerous, swinging with Epicure. Okay, last thing's a mountain. Forced to block. Out of artifacts, but we do get an artifact back from the Epicure here. And we're 1 damage short from the Temple of Power, unfortunately. So I do wonder if we filter. I guess we do. We do filter with this. We get a couple 1/1s from the Oni-Cults. I think we might be able to pull this back as long as we can continue to survive. Like, as long as... Ooh. Do we do that on our turn? Ditch, like, the Epicure? I think we do. I think we do, guys. Because 3 mana still available. Yee. Actually, Crucible's not bad. Crucible's not bad. They're at 9. 2. Now that we have this as more emergency blockers, I think we swing again. And yeah, this is red sources, non-combat damage. Just wanted to double check, make sure I was thinking correctly there. Okay, back to the opponent. What's the top deck? Because if it's Lightning Strike, we're dead. Or anything that could grab a Lightning Strike. Mano. Okay, so we're gonna ditch the map token this time. Keep our 1/1s. Hitting for 1. Just making sure I'm not accidentally dying anywhere, you know? And if they swing with Scoundrel. Okay, so we're still gonna do this though for more life. And we're still gonna do this as well. For more creatures on the board. This has been a lot of land. So if we swing and they block, that's not terrible. I guess it's a full swing, isn't it? It's a full swing now. They want to block the artifact creature, but that doesn't even... So it's 3 going through, right? Then we're taking 1 from the Wicked Roll. And then we go like this. We can do it on the stack. Oh, I guess that happened. Yeah, good game. Good game, opponent. Accidentally clicked through the ordering there trying to get to the GGs. I can't believe that, dude. We're 26 minutes into the video already. That must have been so frustrating. Holy cow. Guys, are we the villain? Are we the bad guy? Oh, man. That's pretty wild, dude. That's something else. It's like I said, going into that, the Oni-Cult Anvil decks are pretty hard for me to pilot, man. There's a lot to think about. And there's like a lot of different ways to optimize how much damage is getting through all the time. I'll tell you what, we would have cleaned that up real early if our Ojer Axonil did not die, right? If that was on the board during all of that, that would have been a very different game. So very nice. 4 mana again. How much mana do I have in here? Guys, we're going to have to check after this, but I'm pretty sure it's 23. Which might be too much. We flooded a little bit last time. Okay, we keep this. We don't need to get the Restless Vents down right away. We can actually play stuff out here, and we're going to go for, like, maximized damage. Like Scoundrel, Wicked Roll. Have it be a 3/3 swinging in, right? Since we went first here, I think that could be huge for us. Oh, they might not even block here, too. Okay, I'll play the Mountain instead. Scoundrel. Yeah, it's Wicked Roll. Yeah, I think we can outpace dinos at this rate. Well, as long as we don't see too much more land. This is a lot of land for early on here. Okay, Hammer Skull, that's a problem. That's a turn 2 6/6 from the opponent, man. More land. Oh dear. Oh dear. So if we swing, they take this out, they take 1 and another 2. It's not really great, is it? Restless Vents, the Menace might actually really come in handy here. I don't think we can swing into this, which is super unfortunate, right? They don't know what we have, though, having the 2 open. They might just block Etching, let the 3 go through. That's still not great. Like, losing something right now isn't terrific. I'm curious. Let's see what they do. They go for it, man. They say if you have a Lightning Strike, it's worth my time. Yeah. Yeah, it's not, I mean, it's not bad. They're down to 12 at the very least. And we do have the blood token open, and we're going to do it on their turn. Which we probably, like, keeping an artifact on the board is fine, but filtering out some of this land seems a little necessary. Like, this is 6 mana. Oh, crap, dude. This is a fight rigging build. Oh, no. Hideaway 5, power 7 or greater already happens because of the Hammer Skull. Okay. Oh, no. Bonehorde Dracosaur. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I'm sure they would have loved to see something even larger off the fight rigging, but that's still a really good hit. Let's just take the 7, guys. I think we're in some serious trouble right now. Even if we had seen a little bit less mana, we can safely get rid of these Sulfurous Springs, so no pain damage. Chandra, Oni-Cult Anvil. Dude, nice. Wow. Now, those were some draws, man. Dracosaur flies in to kill the Chandra, though. Is it still worth our time? Takes 5 off of our face. See, the problem is, yeah, I got rid of that blood token, so Oni-Cult just chilling. Alright, Chandra takes some pressure off of our face for the turn and helps us get the anvil down. And anvil can sacrifice itself, correct? If we really need to. Yeah, sacrifice an artifact. Atali and Topiary Stomper, and 1 treasure over here. It's gonna be another Bone Horde. Bro, we're in some serious trouble, man. I guess onto the, onto one of the flyers, right? That way they can fly past our chump blockers a little bit more effectively. At that point, do they just ignore Chandra? Swing 13 to face, force a block on the ground? Nope. We should probably still block on the ground though, right? I think so. Chump the 7/7. Goodbye, Chandra. I still think that was the play, right? I think so. Instead of, like, it would have been silly keeping it in hand, too. Fanatical Offering, huh? I'm gonna say that's that, but let's see what we find, because we could find a Go for the Throat. We don't want to swing into that, so we do this right now. Etching is a goner. See what we draw. Ooh. Ooh. The land this game was rough, man. Actually, the land last game, too. I feel like we saw a lot of land today. They should have lethal on this board. Well, no. Full swing. Chump there. Gain life off of Oni-Cult. I guess we're not dead. 1 mana. Let's get the 1/1. But let's do it off of the blood token. Filter out this land, right? Get that 1/1. Oni-Cult available. Another mountain. Guys, we're gonna have to check after this game, just in case, right? Bone Horde, Dracosaur. Ooh, Luca. That's a neat addition for dinos. Up the beanstalk, yep. So fight rigging dinos. This is wild, man. Skullport Nexus. That's the one that lets them double. Oh, that's that, guys. They just doubled this Dracosaur's power. And that's that. On a full swing. We still got really cool blocks here, though. Oh, there you go. Okay, thank you, opponent. I was like, oh, they're taking my cool blocks away. But now they decided to let us block. Here and here. And then Oni-Cult. Oni-Cult on this. Back up to 14 and taking 18 in the air. Dude, opponent, good game. Very good game. So, like I said, if we saw less land, maybe. Probably not, though. We would have had to see, like, both of our Go for the Throats to keep up pace with those Dracosaurs. Card's wild, dude. This card's wild. I would not be shocked to see this outside of some dinosaur builds as well. Or it's a dragon, too, which is really neat. So, of course, we got to build a new dragon deck with that soon. Or record a video with a new dragon deck. So we're 34 minutes in, guys. We're going to go for one more, but I do want to check this real quick. 23 land. We might want to talk about 22. But more testing required because that was just a couple games. So you never know. Pretty fun, though. So far, it seems to be operating well. If you've already been playing like Oni-Cult Anvil style builds, then I think this would be on the easier side to pilot. I feel like there's definitely a tougher configuration of Oni-Cult Anvil decks. So I feel like this one is on the easier side. Or maybe I'm finally getting used to Oni-Cult, but either way, I'm having a little bit of a tough time thinking it through. Okay, we go first. That's good news. No guaranteed turn 2, so do we try to guarantee the turn 2? Yes, I believe so. Over Kumano? Oh, well, that would have guaranteed it, but that's fine. Now we don't take damage when we play Oni-Cult Anvil, which could really come in handy. Fanatical Offering not having any targets is bad. I don't think this was a mulligan, though, right? Maybe it was. Even Kumano doesn't act as... Well, there's the 4th mana for the Ojer when it comes time. Okay, nothing great here. I don't want to sacrifice the Oni-Cult, that's for sure. Although the draw could be good, we have the combo in hand, so yeah, that's that. It's an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Just double checking again. Some of the new cards takes me a second to learn everything. Usually I have to play with them to truly learn them. This is perfect. Sting Druid swing in. No 3rd mana. That's actually really good news for us, guys, because we had a really slow start. Okay. Ojer coming down. It's too bad we have nothing for that Oni-Cult yet. It's too bad. We could always end up sacrificing. Okay, let's see what happens here. Hopefully they don't immediately remove this with something. Oh, great. Oh, yeah, we're taking that. I don't know what that could be, but we're taking that. You never know, dude. You never know. A giant growth. They could have 2 giant growths in hand. And that would have, I mean, that would have been a lot of cards to take this out. But, like, I want to keep this on the board, you know? Alright, let's see it. Abandoned Mire, huh? Opponent's holding us up with their green forest here. Right? It is the opponent. Okay, I was going to say I didn't freeze or something, did I? There it comes. Got a great swing. If we go swing, sacrifice etching to Fanatical Offering, we'll get a map. Then we can get the ball rolling with... Okay, so it's swing. It's swing for 7. Get the opponent down to 12. And then, I mean, we might be able to wrap it up this turn, guys, depending on what we draw on the Fanatical Offering, right? I'm sorry, Etching. I'm sorry. You have to go, buddy. You have to go. More land. Holy cow, guys. That is excessive to say the least, I would say. So Fanatical Offering plays into Fanatical Offering, which is really nice because now we have the map. So I guess we do that before playing a land, right? We get a 1/1. And I wonder if we, before they untap, if we go ahead and use Oni-Cult with the Ojer this turn. Epicure, there we go. More land. Dude, look at the land. Holy cow. Holy cow, guys, this is a lot. So Epicure deals 4 damage. Yeah, having to do the 2 Fanatical Offerings on the same turn just because of all the land we're drawing, we might need to consider 22, but also maybe we're just getting a little unlucky here as well. And it's like I said, I think we do this now to get the 4th. No, we don't. No, we don't. Because we might block with Construct and do it that way. Because we're at 13, so you never know. They found a red source. And then on the stack, if there was anything for the Ojer Axonil, we could have activated Oni-Cult too. So no real reason to do it on our turn. Okay, so I will block a questing druid. Actually, just in case, right? I'm gonna block both. Because they still have 2 forests open, and I don't know how explosive their deck is planning to be. Without a red source, though, it's not going to be like a monstrous rage, so trample might be out of the equation. Giant growth, yep. Let that go through. Could be another giant growth. Yep. Dude. Holy cow. Alright, I want to do this now. Go back up to 14. That way we're done holding up the opponent. See, we're down to 5. Dude, holy cow. That could have been really bad. Good game, opponent. That could have been a completely different ball game, because we had a really slow start and everything too, so I'll tell you what. Yeah, this land, huh? This land. So we're 40 minutes in. I think we're going to call it there on a high note. The deck performed well, but the land, dude, yeah, let's go talk about this, huh? Wait, what's this pack? Lost Caverns of Ixalan. See what we got. Throne of the Grim Captain. Haha, that's my 4th one. The deck I've been putting together with it only has 3, but maybe I should run 4 now that I got it, right? Anvil God. This is cool, man. This is cool. Oni-Cult Anvil still feels as good as I remember it, so... And the last few times we've seen opponents running Oni-Cult Anvil, it has obliterated us, so yeah, I'm a little bit surprised we don't see more of it. With the Ojer Axonil, that's pretty wild, man. That was a lot of damage from us all of a sudden. And then we drew so poorly. Had we drawn just a little bit better that turn, instead of all that land off the first offering, there's a good chance of us just wrapping it up that turn, right? Because what if we saw like a flick a coin, and we had enough mana for it, right? Because we had 2 open and 1 land in hand. So we could have went like flick a coin, and then we did see that Epicure too. Like the treasure off the flick a coin, drop the Epicure, then activate the Oni-Cult. That would have been 12 damage there. That's wild, man. That's like, Ojer Axonil is just a really cool build around card. Should we actually have 4 of them? Maybe, because if you end up seeing multiple, worst case scenario would be like you get like 3 of them in your hand, and you play one. And then, like, the opponent doesn't remove it. Well, if they remove it, you play the second one. And, like, well, do we want 4 of these guys? Is this one of those legendary creatures where it's okay if you have multiple in hand? Probably not for this build. I can't really decide. I mean, there's a reason I decided on 3 to begin with here. It's on the top end of the build. But it seemed really important, especially in that last one. When it flips into Temple, like, that's actually really good too. Just that little bit of extra ramp can go a long way. But yeah, for 23 mana, we saw way too much land, huh? Scoundrel was a fine choice for the build. Opting for just that little bit of ramp for our only 3 4-drops seemed fine, especially when you can also just use those treasures as artifacts for the Oni-Cult Anvil, right? The synthesizers felt pretty bad, but it was only that one game, and I feel like I could have played it in a different order to make that a little better, because we ended up exiling the Oni-Cult to the first synthesizer. Overall, I think the 2 synthesizers will be fine. The amount of removal in the deck, the Voltage Surge, the Go for the Throat, the Bloodtithe Harvesters, and sometimes like Flick a Coin, probably isn't enough. Because, like, how often are you actually using that Harvester rather than keeping a creature? Well, probably pretty often, huh? It's a tough decision, guys, because I don't think I would change too much here. I think more testing's required for sure. If anything, when I drop to 22 land, or if I choose to drop to 22 land, I would go up 1 more piece of removal. I don't think it would be a flick a coin. I think 3 is where we want that. Same thing with the Chandra. I actually, this whole top end, 3, 3, 3, I think that's all fine. So if we drop a land, it could just, honestly, it could just be like another Go for the Throat, and you'd probably be satisfied, or another Voltage Surge. Or the bargain bin Voltage Surge. Or, yeah, because the Exile could really come in handy. I forget the name of it right now. A Torch the Tower, right? So if we had the Torch the Tower to exile that Phoenix check, that would have made that that one game, that one decision a little bit easier. But it still didn't end up coming down to that right away anyways. I don't know. Yeah, Torch the Tower. I guess your removal of choice. Down to 22 land, your removal of choice. Just don't make it too expensive. Probably a one mana removal or a 2 mana removal. Cut down could also be something to consider. If you go up too much of the plaque removal spells, you might need to rethink the mana base, but overall I think the mana base should be fine. And if you go down to land, what should you drop? Probably, let's see, we got a 3 to 8 ratio, or a 4 to 8.5 ratio. We got 3 to 7 and a bunch of duels. Bro, I don't even know. I don't know what to cut, guys. Let me know in the comments. What would you add or take out? For sure. Do you guys think 22 land is definitely enough for this build? Because after those games, I think so. I guess I'd cut the swamp, honestly. With all these dual land, we shouldn't have any issues hitting the black mana that we need. So I'd cut a swamp. And I think we'd be fine. I think it's necessary to lean heavy into that red because of the double red in Chandra, double red in Ojer. And then all the dual lands seem super necessary too because of the Rakdos colors in Harvester and Oni-Cult. Yeah, drop a swamp, go up a piece of removal. I think it's totally fine. I think it'll work well overall, but like I said, more testing required. I don't even think I'm going to call this one jank when I put it up on AetherHub. I think it's totally fine. Yeah. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.